week on the No More Late Fees podcast, our pal Enjoli is back and ready to get cheetahlicious with us. Welcome, Enjoli.
Hi guys, I'm so happy to be back.
We're so happy to have you back. Honestly, we had so many compliments on our East Bayou episode with you. So many people. Yeah.
It's both. That episode is one of our top episodes, just personally our
Yeah.
favorite. But the discussions around just culture and living in the South and stuff, like we've just gotten really, really good feedback from that episode. So
Great. I love it. Yay.
So we were really happy to have you back on because we know down to your roots, you love yourself some cheetah girls. So
I do. My friends are always like, you have a PhD in cheetah. And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of true.
You're even repping cheetah today.
I had to. I felt like, because you guys always have the background. I was like, I don't know I can do a background, but I can definitely put on some cheetah.
I knew you would be excited for this. And we're, as soon as Jackie and I were doing the calendar and we were looking at what anniversaries were coming up, and we were just like, we both looked at each other. We already knew who was going to be the guest.
Yeah. So happy to be the guest. You have no idea how much I love talking about this movie and this whole series.
It's how we found you on TikTok, so it's kismet.
Yay.
So how are things been going for you on your end? Anything new?
Not necessarily anything new, just constantly trying to make content. A lot of my content started to move more towards musical theater. And it's so interesting because recently I've had a lot more comments be like, we miss your DCOM content. We know that you've gone through a lot of the DCOMs, but like bring that back. We love those memories. So I'm definitely going to get back into doing DCOM content too, to make sure everybody gets exactly what they need out of my content.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously we are recording during the strike, so we are going to be doing some other like 90s 2000s content. So we had, I think one of the on the ideas list was talking about just like in the 2000s and the 90s, there was like a lot of big celebrities that went to Broadway. They were kind of like stunt castings.
Yeah.
Some were just really amazing. Can't wait to kind of look into that. Jackie and I went to New York, I think 2005. Was it 2005?
Yes, 2005.
And we got to see Sweet Charity with, who was it, Jackie?
Christina Applegate.
Yes. Yep. And that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I know back in the 90s, we got Toni Braxton as Belle, which was wonderful. I think she was the first Black woman to play Belle.
She was.
So yeah, that should be a fun kind of dive. And we definitely know who to call to be a guest on that one.
I have a lot of knowledge about that. My favorite one that was almost, it actually did not happen, was Maya. She was supposed to step in on Broadway, and I think she missed her ankle or her knee, something like that, and ended up having to pull herself back out. It was very sad because I love Maya as a performer, and she, because she can tap dance, obviously she has the skill to be on Broadway. So it was very frustrating because I was like, I love her. What happened?
Yeah. So she heard, which musical was it for?
Oh.
Was it Chicago? Because I know she was in the Chicago movie.
Chicago because she's in the movie. I don't think it was Chicago. Maybe it was, though. Maybe she was supposed to step in as Roxy instead of just being an ensemble character. But she's always somebody that I think about when I'm like, okay, it's been a couple of years. She's probably healed by now. Bring her back. Like whatever the idea was then, she could probably still do it now.
Yeah. I always loved that she could tap dance because I love tap dancing. And I remember the first video I saw, I was like, my girl can tap. Oh! I was very excited. Well, we have a game. It's the Girls of Disney Channel Challenge, and it's rank 'em essentially. Jackie's going to give you some stars of the early Disney Channel years, and you have to rank them 1 through 5. 1 being the best, 5 being not the best, but it's some stiff competition. Yeah. And you don't know which one's coming next. So yeah.
That'll
So our first one is Kirsten Storms.
Oh, I love her. feel like she was in two DCOMs, maybe 3 or 4. She was in Kim
She
Possible as
was
Bonnie.
4, I think, because she did all 3 Xenons, and then she did, like you said, Johnny Tsunami. I don't know if she was in any other ones. And I
It's
think
Impossible, her voice.
yes. And
She's
was she a guest star on maybe some just Disney Channel shows?
She was a guest star on That's a Raven. She was in an
Okay.
episode where it was like her and Raven battling for the best party because they had the same outfit, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I feel like she's a good middle ground because I don't know what's coming next, so maybe 3.
Okay.
Perfect. Our next one is Kimberly J. Brown.
Oh, I love her. I'm gonna put her at 2. I love Halloween Town growing up. I don't have as strong of a frustration that she wasn't in the 4th one, but I do quite love her. And she was great in Quince. When she had her breakdown in Quince, I cried because that was like real acting for me.
Yeah.
Raven Simone.
It feels blasphemous to not say number 1, especially because we're talking about the Cheetah Girl. Like, she is pretty much the Disney queen. Like, when you think Disney Channel, you think. So I'm going to put her number 1 for sure.
Yeah.
Hilary Duff.
Ooh, love her. Her hairstyles are still iconic, and I love that people are still creating them. I'm scared about who's last. That's why I'm putting her at 5, because I love Hilary, but I'm just terrified that you're going to give me somebody that I know is like a Brenda song or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And you guessed correctly. 5 is Brenda Song.
I love her. She's still working for Disney. I'm putting her at number 4. I love her.
She is an OG. Like her and Raven, Hilary was like early on.
Mm-hmm.
Hilary carried. She definitely brought in the whole music stuff that I don't think even Disney was thinking about. Like, can we talk about how Disney fumbled a bag when they had Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, Ryan Gosling, and Christina Aguilera on their channel and like canceled the Mickey Mouse Club?
Yep.
Didn't give them, none of them had record deals with Disney. Like, I know that they must have really hurt their brains with that one.
Oh, absolutely.
And then with Hilary, it was Hilary pushing to do the music.
Because she always wanted to be a singer. She was like, I love acting, but I always wanted to be a singer. And I think now, maybe I heard this in an interview and don't really remember. I think now it's been flipped where she's like, I love singing, but like acting is my real passion, which tends to happen when you have somebody who ends up being like a triple threat. One thing becomes more prominent than another.
Yeah. I think Hilary's a better actor than singer, but my mom, it's so funny. She will fight you on saying if you're like Hilary's she's okay. She's like, no, there's something about her voice that's a little unique. I'm like, what?
My mom says it too. My mom's like, she has a rasp. And I'm like, what are you listening to? Explain that to me, because I don't hear it.
I love Hilary, but like the way my mom goes hard for her, just very, very perplexed about that.
Hey, when you're a fan, you're a fan.
Yeah.
Christine, she defends Hilary Duff and me.
Yeah. 100%. So after looking at all the people that possibly could have been in the first Cheetah Girls movie, I have to ask all of us, if you could recast the Cheetah Girls, who would you add or change and why? Now, I think to make it fun is to keep it for that time frame, actresses that would have worked at that time. Honestly, I'm gonna let you guys think about it for a second, and then if you have any ideas, throw them out there.
I'm gonna go first because I've already thought about this. I think I did a video on this. So I'm sure you guys know, in doing research, Solange was supposed to play Aqua.
Yeah.
And then Matthew, her father, pulled her because Solange ended up having to do some things for her album, and she couldn't end up doing the album and the movie at the same time. Would have loved to see Solange in this movie, especially because she doesn't get her acting debut until Bring It On, which I think was 2007 when she did that. So it's still a little bit more time. Granted, she was a better actress by that time, but still, it would have been great to see her do something really young, kind of step out from Beyonce's shadow.
Yeah.
So I think that would have been a great idea. I also think about Zoe Kravitz being cast as Dorinda. Zoe's also a really good dancer. And I just think that like she would have brought something really interesting and raw to Dorinda's performance, because I think of all four girls, Dorinda's the most emotionally driven because she hides her emotions so much. She hides so much about her life that when she has that emotional breakdown with Chanel, you can feel her pain and her frustration at not knowing who she is or where she comes from. So I think Zoe, because she's such a raw actress, like just emotionally, she's always raw. That Zoe would have been great for some as well.
I like those picks. I would have never even thought about Zoe. I totally forgot she would have been in the age range around that time. Yeah. I will probably say this a lot during the episode. I would have been fine if Keely wasn't in this movie at all. 100%.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. And the fact that I saw that Naya Rivera auditioned and
Didn't get it.
I was like, are y'all fucking blind? The vocals alone. The what we could have had.
Audition for the Cheetah Girls, and she auditioned for High School Musical. Just immediate frustration with Disney. I'm like, she had so much talent that y'all just kind of wasted, because at a certain point, when you tell an actor no 4 or 5 times, they're not going to come back. They're not going to audition for you again. So good for Naya for getting Glee, but like we could have had a really amazing lineup for the Cheetah Girls.
Yeah, 100%. Trying to think of anybody else that would have been good. Maybe Kiki would have been too young back then, but Kiki Palmer would have been great too. Just to see her and Raven in something together.
Yeah.
I saw their interview recently and I just like, it made me so happy. They're so funny and ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. Love them.
Do you have anybody, Jackie?
I don't, because I had never seen this movie before today. So I had no feelings about
Yeah, I think, I just, if Keely would have been gone. Yeah. Or Notori. Is that her name? Natari from 3LW? I would have, hell yeah. Her vocals would have carried, and we now know she's an amazing actress.
There's so much frustration for me in particular around the casting of Aqua, not just because of the snafu situation with Solange and Keely, but because in the books, there's twins, Aquanet and Anjanette. And then Disney, when they were casting for the film, kept saying that they couldn't find twins in the right age range that would play these characters believably and this and that and a third. So they ended up cutting Anjanette completely and just made Aqua a solo character, which is fine, but there's also a lot of personality aspects from the book that they just completely ignored for Aqua, even moving forward with just a singular character, because in the books, Aqua and Anjanette are the strongest voices in the group. It's not Chanel, it's not Galleria, it's Aqua. Aqua's the singer. And then you get Keely, which, no shade, she can carry a tune, which is great, but you're not the singer.
No.
So then that just kind of takes away people who are like me, who were literally holding the book while they were watching the movie.
Right. What about the twins that are friends with Khloe Kardashian that were in Sky High?
ATL, yes, and then ATL. I don't remember their name.
Michaela, was it Michaela? Is that her name? Yeah,
Michaela's one of them.
I just wonder, maybe they didn't know how to sing, but they would have been the perfect age range.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know that they were auditioning at that time, because I'm trying to think, when did Sky High come out? Maybe 2005.
2005, yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that I know that without a doubt.
Disney knowledge never goes away. I'm telling you right now, ever.
But it's just sad, like, because I just don't think they were trying hard enough to find the twins.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, a lot of people have brought up Tia and Tamara, and granted, at the time, Tia and Tamara were older than they would have wanted, but it didn't make sense. It felt like there was no effort put into it, because even then, when you're looking for twins, if you don't put out the feelers and say, we want twins, we need twins, it felt like they gave up on the whole twin idea too quickly.
Do you think that they didn't do it because there would have been too many Black girls in the group?
I honestly, I think Disney is lazy, and I also think that's a part of it, because there's less actors to pay if you have 4 actors versus 5.
Right.
And also, it's very easy to forget Anjanette as a character because she was the quiet one in the book. So you can very easily say, oh, well, she was the quiet one. She wasn't, nobody paid attention to her. She never narrated her own book. Of course, we're going to cut her. That's a very easy excuse to make. But The Cheetah Girls is the 3rd Disney movie to feature a Black girl as a lead character. The first, I think, was The Color of Friendship, and then The Poof Point, and then The Cheetah Girls. And so I think at that point, Disney was kind of like, well, Black girls aren't necessarily marketable. So putting, multiple Black girls on screen is maybe not the best idea, because that's also how you ended up with Sabrina Bryan being cast as Dorinda, because Deborah Martin Chase, who's one of the producers, said that she didn't want the cheetahs to become a Black thing. So she wanted the group to look diverse. So she was hoping that every girl would see herself as a cheetah girl, and was kind of pushing Disney to avoid casting more Black girls than was necessary.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't she Black?
Yes, but Sabrina talks about it. Sabrina talks about it in her interview. I tried to find this interview over and over throughout the years. I'll find tiny clips of it, but not all of it. Sabrina said when she went into her audition, there were girls of every different ethnicity, color, creed, everything, because Disney had no idea what they wanted to do, but they didn't want the film to be perceived as a Black film and therefore ostracize white girls. So the idea was just bring in everybody, doesn't matter what they look like. We're just trying to find somebody who's going to fit with the other girls.
It's just like they don't understand that it doesn't ostracize. I mean, Raven herself has proven that with her TV show, because it's the longest running show that they've had on Disney. And I mean, besides like her friend, everybody in the cast was Black.
Yep.
But the new ones, they've changed it a few times, and I'm like, I don't know what they're doing over there. But yeah, ridiculous. Because I think if it's just a cute storyline and kids just love the music, they don't care.
Especially the music, because it was one of the first, if not the first, DCOM that featured music very heavily as a plot point. Kids love musicals. We're very invested in a musical. Like the song "We Don't Talk About Bruno," I have heard more times than I need to, because kids love music.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited for our episode, because we dig even deeper. But I think the last time you were here, we hadn't solidified this segment in our trailers, which is employee picks. Tell her about it, Jackie.
So as Blockbuster employees, we got to put our employee picks on the wall and recommend to customers. So you are now an honorary Blockbuster employee, and we want to know your employee picks and they can be from 95 to 2005.
I'm going to be basic and say The Cheetah Girls. It's definitely one of those movies that I could watch literally anytime. Cleaning my house, doing the dishes, folding laundry. I could watch this movie to fall asleep for the rest of my life and be completely fine with that. Trying to make sure I stay within the age range, and I think this is one of them, A Walk to Remember.
It is.
Yes. I love A Walk to Remember. I remember that being one of the first movies that I physically just bawled. Like I could not collect myself after watching the movie, just cried and cried and cried. Definitely a movie that I would watch over again. Honestly, I would probably pick another DCOM, and it would be Brink. I love Brink. I don't know why either. I don't know either. I can't roller skate really well or anything. But Brink is one of those movies that every time it comes on, I just feel this little joy starts happening in my heart. I'm like, oh, I love this movie.
We are actually doing that movie in a in a few episodes. And I remember during the pandemic, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch my DCOMs," and I started with Brink, and I said, "Oh Lord, I don't think I'm ready for this.
The
This
acting is terrible. And the thing that
so
I
bad."
can't let go, I actually have to skip through the scene because it's so bad when they're getting bullied in the lunchroom. I don't remember his character's name, but the black guy's hairline. I can't. He's way too close to the screen for his hairline to be looking like that, and I fast forward it every time.
Is
I'm
it
like,
is it Walter Jones? Is it the Black Ranger?
I think so. I think so. And I'm like, why did they not?
Oh, that's
Hold
bad
on
to have.
set.
Bad lineup. Well, come on, we already know that they don't to this day we're still struggling with having people of color behind the scenes
Yep.
to take care of the actors' hair and makeup.
Mhm.
Like, especially since for some reason white people cannot learn how to take care of black hair in their profession.
Yeah. Which
That's another day.
yeah. I was like, you go to hair school. School is
Right.
the operative word.
So shouldn't you learn all the hair?
You would think.
Anywho, yeah, that's disheartening because I think when I saw him on screen, I was like, he's too old to be in this movie.
Far too old. Far too old.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait for that. So why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social?
You can find me on TikTok, Enjoli Desiree. I'm very active on TikTok. Probably the best place to locate me. And I read every comment, respond to everything. I'm not hiding in the shadows. If you have questions, please ask me anything on TikTok. I will respond, believe me.
And we are in the shadows, but you can still follow us at No More Late Feet. So TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Threads. I'm just kidding. We respond. We try.
We do try. As long as you're nice. We won't respond if you're trolling us.
Yeah, I just block. Be blocked and be blessed, as Amanda Seales says. So so stay tuned for our Cheetah Girls episode with Enjoli later this week.
And as always, be kind and rewind.